Okay, nerds, a lot of things have happened and progressed and stuff in the last week. And that being said, you guys have been following, commenting, and leaving all kinds of wonderful information. So we've got to address that as well. This is the viewer mail episode. So let's get these followers taken care of real quick, shall we? So we have one new follower over on the Twitter. Evil Emperor X has been following us now for almost a week. So thank you very much, nerd, for the follow on the Twitters. At generally_nerdy is the Twitter account. If you want your very own shout out or you just want to interact in that way, that is the way to do it. And then on the main YouTube channel, we have the following. Fatuma Osman, Ryan Noakes. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing your names, guys. Jamie Pennycuick, and Courtney Purcell. Hey, I can say that one. Thank you very much, nerds, for the follow on the main channel. It's very much appreciated. And then on the secondary channel, we have a couple of new subscribers there as well. We have Brian Kaiwai, Jamie Pennycuick. Again, I know I'm mispronouncing your name, so I apologize. Seismic Bile Bent Sensor is also subscribing over there. Nerd King 171, Itobest Romains, and Kareem Brown, all new subscribers over on the Nerd News Clips channel. Thank you very much, nerds, for the subscriptions. Now we have comments and things and mail to get out of the way. So switching back over to the primary YouTube channel, over on the interview with Terry Farrell, where I got to interview her ever so briefly. We have a comment from blacksnakemagic. Blacksnakemagic says, "She rocks her gray hair loud and proud. It shows great self-confidence and a degree of I don't give a and she's still attractive and sexy. I love it. The majority of women in this world, especially celebrities, are scared to death of rocking their gray hair." Yeah, I think would tend to agree with you here, sir. I think most celebrities and most people who are worried about getting old definitely don't age as well as those who just accept it for what it is. And very specifically talking about Terry Farrell, she seems to be embracing it and making it work for her. So yes, I would agree. I would definitely agree. Our next comment comes from Christopher Ortiz over on last week's main episode, Casting and Confirmations and New Seasons. Oh my is the name of that episode. Christopher Ortiz, longtime supporter of the channel. Mr. Christopher has chimed in to say this time, "Hey dude, I know you really enjoy talking about music, so I'm curious if you make a video talking about all the musical artists faking their own deaths. I know a couple that could have possibly faked their own deaths. Plus, Hugh Jackman is going to be playing a variant of Wolverine, not the same Wolverine that died in Logan in 2029. Okay, so we'll address the two different things here in this comment. First up, making video potentially on the secondary channel. I could see something along those lines. It would very likely just be a short, because I don't think, and I mean, unless you have some crazy research involved, I don't think that there's anything we can really add to the conversation around certain artists who rumored to have faked their own deaths for publicity reasons or to get out of the public eye or whatever. So there's an amount of trepidation there as to whether or not I would do such a thing, though it's an interesting idea, so let's talk. As far as the other bit of that comment, the Hugh Jackman playing a variant from apparently a different universe in the next Deadpool movie. The Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman both have shot this theory down. They released a subsequent video after the announcement video saying very specifically that this movie would be taking place earlier in the timeline than Logan does. So it is the same Logan. It's not breaking anything. The only thing it's breaking is that Hugh Jackman said that that was the last time he was going to play the character, and, you know, Disney basically prints whatever money they want so they can do whatever they want as far as paying people. Kind of makes sense that they paid him enough that he would come back for another movie. So, yeah, but yeah, it's definitely the same Logan. It's just earlier in the timeline. It's before he's died. That's all we got for the main channel. Let's move over to the Nerd News Clips channel. Interview with the Vampire trailer short, where I talk about the possibility of this show being great. We have another comment from somebody named GillSurf8. And GillSurf says, I've been a fan of the first few novels since '92. Just saw the first episode on AMC+. I'm very pleased to say that they did nail it despite all of the changes. All window dressing changes, in parentheses. It's a more faithful adaptation of the novels, and then some. I am so grateful as a longtime fan. All right, so I addressed this a little bit in the main episode this week, in that they're not just window dressing changes. You have changed a significant amount about the main character. The main vampire for the Interview with the Vampire book is Louis. Louis is set a very specific way in the novelization, and also continues in that very specific way in the first movie. That being said, I don't really like that version of Louis. I really like this version of Louis for the AMC series. I think they have done much greatness. They have done many things to update this character and have him make a little bit more sense. Definitely have gone to great lengths to make this an actual character and not just someone for Lestat to bounce off of. So yeah, I don't agree with your nailed it in the respect of who the character of Louis is. I think that the broad strokes are still there, sure, but the details are very different, and the devil's in the details in a way. I think that makes this series a much better vehicle for telling the story than any movie ever could be. And I think this version of Louis, again, is my favorite version of Louis. It's just great. He's great. He's great. Jacob Anderson is doing phenomenal things. And I don't remember who the director is, or the showrunner rather, but also doing phenomenal things with the story. So yeah, again, got into the other issue that I had with this in the main episode, so go check that out. Next, we're talking about the movies section clip from last week. Hellraiser, Woody Allen, Hereditary. Again, we have another comment from Mr. Christopher Ortiz. Chris says, the Hellraiser trailer looks pretty good. I'm watching the movie for sure. I totally agree. Now that I believe it's out, I haven't watched it yet, but the review embargo has been lifted at the very least, because I've been seeing reviews posted up to the YouTubes by the larger review YouTubers. All of that being said, I'm still excited about it, even though a lot of them are saying that it's not super great. I don't think there's a lot that is super great about the original series, aside from Pinhead. So since all of them seem to agree that Pinhead is the best part about this new movie, I think it's in line with everything else. I think also the quality, just based off of what we've seen in the trailer, speaks volumes. It's leaps and bounds above everything that's come before it. So I think that also is going to be something I fully appreciate. So next comment is from a music short that came, that I did about a month ago now. It has to do with the release of the new Mars Volta song, Vigil, or album rather, Vigil. And it comes from a person calling themselves Axiom Ape. And Axiom says, give the album a shot. Many people who were fans of their old stuff were thrown off at first, but the majority of people are really digging it. If you give the rest of the album a listen, you'll get a better overall vibe. After all, when you've experimented past the music edge of craziness for years, the next thing to do is bring things down and simplify. I honestly, I commented directly to this person, but I heard a very similar thing from somebody whose musical opinion I respect a whole lot. So yeah, I think that I will probably give the album at least a single once over. If there's other things that I feel like need to be digested more, I'll go back over a few more times. But yeah, I'm entering this into this with an open mind, because I really like everything up until this new album. What I've heard from this new album is not what I wanted out of a Mars Volta record. I guess is the way to put that. So yes, that is what we've got for the viewer mail episode this week. Nerds, thank you very much for joining. We will see you next week. If you want to get your own very own shout out, subscribe to the YouTube channels, go check out the social medias and follow me on any one of those. Let's have a conversation, go back and forth on the social medias or in the comment section of the YouTube channel. Either way, I appreciate you, nerds. We will be heading out now. Before we do though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.